What's up everybody and welcome back to another video. Today I have a really special project planned. I'm going to be painting my PS5 console. As of right now, it is the day before release. I'm going to pick it up at 7 AM tomorrow. I plan on shooting a quick little unboxing segment because I am well and truly on the hype train. But if you've already seen too many unboxing videos, feel free to just click this link or the timestamp, and that will take you right to me painting and working on the console itself. But yeah, I'm really psyched to do this. I've got a little bit of time at the moment. I just thought this would be a really fun project. And yeah, I'm amped to see what we can come up with. So yeah, let's just dive on into it. Sit back, relax. I'll take you through my process in case anybody else wants to have a shot themselves at painting a console. And yeah, let's just do it. Not sure what the best way to get into this thing is going to be, but up top we've got power cable, we've got the new controller. God, it feels nice in the hands. Great size, good weight to it. The color is actually a little bit less white than I was expecting, but I love the colorway on the controller. I think it looks fantastic. What else we got? Up top we got the quick start guide. Down a little bit further, we've got what looks to be the console stand. Yep. HDMI cable. We've got USB-C cable. Wow, this thing is a monster. It's bloody huge. What a great looking console. So much better in person than what the photos show. All right, and this is where the fun begins. I've just looked up how to remove this panel. Apparently you sort of lift up on the right corner where the PlayStation logo is, and you want to slide it that way at the same time. So we'll lift up this corner, and there we go. First one done, good start. So we're just gonna flip this over. And then for this side, we're gonna lift the bottom right corner and we're gonna push it that way again. Like so. All right, and now it's time for the fun to begin. So my first step I'm gonna do is mask off my orange section so that I can spray paint it. It's quite important that I get this angle on the logo here correct, because it needs to be the same on the logo and on my orange. And if that black section is off too much as in relation to the actual angle itself, it's going to make the logo look weird. So just a little trick I'm doing here is that I have my phone next to me with my design. I can see that my orange section starts about just under halfway, around about a quarter, and on the lower side and on the higher side it's just above halfway. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out my tape, and I'm literally just gonna eyeball the logo, the original logo design, as you can see here. And then I'm just gonna transfer across my arms and decide where I want it. I think that is looking pretty good. It doesn't feel like the PS5 plastic material has been really coated with anything, which is good. So I think this tape should do a perfect job. And then when it comes to painting, I'm just going to be really careful and do nice light layers. Left side, I'm just going to go ahead and measure the right side as to where I want the top of the orange to begin. And I'm going to jump across to the opposite panel and measure that out again. 15.6. I'm probably going to start on the right side instead of the left side, and we'll work our way up. Carry this around to the inside as we did on the other side of the console. And I think what I'm going to do now is I actually might just clip this back on the console for a brief second, and then we can see how it lines up. And this is exactly why I went ahead and did a check. I actually want this angle to be going back down on the insides. So we'll give that a quick fix, although the outsides are perfect. I'll just drop those heading downwards. And as you can see on the inside there, I've just gone ahead and fixed up the angles so they're correct on both sides. So I'll just quickly pop the panels back off and we can head outside and we're ready to paint. I almost jumped the gun there. Before we go out and paint, I'm just going to continue to finish off masking the rest of the actual plastic unit itself, because I just want to make sure that I'm definitely not going to get no leaks or additional sprays of paint into this top section, because I want that to be the original plastic, and if I get any oversprays or any leaks, there's going to be kind of no undoing it, because yeah, I can't just paint over the top and we'll have to work something else out. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that on both panels, and then we'll cut across to outside and we'll give them a spray. Spray painting nice, thin and consistent layers of paint is the way to go. Even if you have to do 2 or 3 coats, you'll get a much better result each time. Something to test on and go for it. This side is a little bit more difficult because we've got the disc drive to worry about as well. So I might work my way down. We'll start at the top here where the tape is, and then I'll try and get this side sort of done. But I'm guessing I'm gonna have to, I'll hit this bottom section of the disc drive on the first coat, and then when we flip it over, I'll get the other angles on it too. First coats are done. We'll leave them dry for about 20 minutes and we'll come back and hit them again. And time for our second coat. Really happy with how this is looking so far. Just another quick tip, because I want this line to be so hard and perfect, another thing that you can do is when spraying, to spray in a sort of an angle facing away from the hard edge that you want, as opposed to spraying directly top down. It adds a lot of high pressure, and then it can sort of make the paint run underneath that seal. Whereas if you kind of do light sprays like so, you're shooting away from where you want to keep clear, and it's sort of more so misting as opposed to having this hard pressure, and it'll just give you better coverage anyway. Just brought these back inside. This is by far the most nerve-wracking bit. Hopefully we get a perfect peel, otherwise we're gonna have to reassess and figure something else out, but it looks good. I think we should be right. So let's see. The moment of truth, please be good. And that is exactly what I wanted to see. I'm super stoked with how well that bottom section has turned out. As long as we have no overspray now, which I'm positive basically that we won't, then it's a very good result. Hopefully the same result is on the other side as well. God, I'm so happy with how this has turned out. Exactly what I had in mind. No drips or spillage at all. So it's a great starting point. Let's hope this side has held up as well. Fingers crossed the tape has done its job. Okay, we're back in the studio now. We've got this lovely orange surface to work with. Next step is going to be simply sketching in my design. I'm going to be using the mechanical pencil. Overall, really happy with the progress I've got happening at the moment. As you can see, I've just been working on the black sections of the logo at the moment, using a lot of tape masking, which has been working well so far. Just masked off this little section here because I'm going to bring in the bone colors of the skull now. I've just mixed up a really simple sort of light tan bony color just as a bit of a base coat, just using a little bit of what did I use? Yellow ochre and some titanium white. And I have taped off this sort of right side where the red section is going to go. I'm going to be a little bit more liberal with this section here because I'm going to tape back on it in the other direction anyway. But my first step here is mainly just going to be fleshing out this section, blocking in some color, and then we can start adding in some detail. What I think I'm going to do is I'll work on the bone sections whilst I've got the colors mixed up on the palette, and then I will switch across and paint the red sections after that. But overall, really happy with how things are going at the moment. This material that the plastic is sort of made out of is actually really quite ideal for painting because there's a nice amount of texture to it. So the paint does quite a good job at sticking to that. And overall, yeah, just happy with how things are going. So now I'm just sort of knuckling down, smash out the painting, and hopefully I'll get it done today. Getting pretty close to finishing now. Really stoked with how it's all coming along. Really liking the red sections and the contrasting with those bone sections. And yeah, just overall, really happy with the progress. I've decided I'm going to add in these kind of lines on the eye sockets. It's something I like to do on my skulls. Makes it sort of become a little bit of a trademark for the skulls that I tend to work on. So I'm going to throw those in. I'll tighten up those black lines as I was talking about before, and then we'll be pretty much set to get it back on the PS5 and see how it's looking all finished up. Pretty much got this to the point now where I'm really happy with how it's looking. As I was talking about before, I just got those sort of swirls, those sort of somewhat hypnotizing lines into the eye sockets, which I think look really great. And the last step that I've just decided to do now here is I'm just going to do a bit of a thin outline. As you can see down the bottom here, I've just sort of started to do that. And I'm just doing that to bring the skull forward a little bit more, make it pop a little bit more. It gets lost on the left side here in the grey area. Overall though, yeah, really happy. The only sort of minor problem I ran into or struggle that I had was I had a bit of paint bleed here when I pulled the tape. So in doing that, I tried to cover it by making the skull a little bit larger on the left side, which is a little bit noticeable, probably only if I point it out. It bothers me a little bit, but to sort of compensate that, I sort of tried to make this dimple or divot on the left side of the skull a little bit larger and just make it look as if it was ever so slightly, looking to the right as opposed to looking direct on. But yeah, overall really happy. Getting close to wrapping this up. It's been a really fun project. It's always fun painting on unique canvases. And yeah, it was cool. Right, a bit of a pause there so I can concentrate. Yeah, it was just a fun project. It sort of hyped the PS5 up even more so. And yeah, I'm keen to see what it looks like all finished up and on my shelf. So I'm going to finish these lines off, take a couple of photos, and we're pretty much done. And there we have it, guys. There's my custom PS5. I was actually just thinking it's probably one of the first customs in the world, since Australia was one of the first countries to have a release, which is pretty exciting. But overall, I had a ball with this project. I hope you found it helpful or entertaining. Let me know what you think of the design down below. Would you rock a console like this at your house? Or yeah, definitely let me know if you are gonna have a go at painting it yourself. I would love to see some other custom consoles as well. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. That's it for now, and I'll catch you in the next one.